Today is April 24th, 2017, and I have just attended 2 city council meetings here in Dallas. I chose the meetings because they seem the most interesting and dense, and they're also back-to-back, so that was convenient. The first briefing and the first meeting was from the Quality of Life and Environment Committee, which began with an update on the new material recovery facility, which in layman's terms is a recycling plant on 15 acres in the McComas Bluff landfill. This facility has been 4 years in the making, and the ribbon cutting was just a month ago on March 28th. This update was led by Kelly High, who's the Director of Sanitation Services for the City of Dallas. Mr. High explained that all the new features of the recycling plant, including anaerobic digestion of waste materials that can't be recovered, single stream recycling, as well as mixed waste recycling. Some of the other cool features of this facility are climate-controlled sorting rooms, a viewing gallery for tours for school children and such, and the fact that it was built with the possibility to expand to twice the size that it is now. So some interesting things that were brought up by the council members were questions about profit of the facility, and yes, I didn't know this, but the facility actually makes a net profit from selling back waste materials. And also, another thing that I was wondering about was something that they called the Amazon effect, which is the increase in cardboard intake, which is about 5 to 6% more cardboard because people are ordering so many things online these days. One council member also asked if the sanitation department could do a cost-benefit analysis on increasing the education for how and why we recycle and what to recycle in the community, to see if it would be cost effective to spread more information on the subject to keep waste down and stuff like that. So the second briefing was from Animal Care Services, which is, I guess, what they call animal control now. They hired consulting group BCG to make some recommendations on how to improve their process. And among these were a more balanced and focused mission statement, a scorecard with metrics to gauge their progress, and an open online access to report loose dog sightings, which is much better because now, instead of calling the city and trying to get a hold of someone, you can just report a loose dog sighting online. All these are good, and they reported reduced euthanasia of shelter animals and collaboration on spaying and neutering education. Animal Care has also increased their volunteer resources, including a developed foster care program to keep animals out of shelters altogether, which is pretty cool. So the next meeting was a public safety committee meeting reported by Deputy Chief Gilberto Garza, the Narcotics Division Commander. This meeting actually started late due to reports of an active shooter in North Dallas. This update included the monthly crime report recap and a recap of the 2016 crime report, which I have photos of those charts. The 2016 crime report noted a rise in narcotic-related violent crimes, and that marijuana and heroin seizures have almost doubled. This could be both good and bad. It depends on how they're seizing it, and I'll talk about that later. Meth seizures have been steadily rising for like the past decade, and the next topic that Deputy Chief Garza brought up to an intense reaction from some of the council members, particularly Sandy Grayson of District 12 and Philip Kingston of District 14, was asset forfeiture and seizure by police, especially before a conviction has been made. So Councilman Kingston wasted no time in asking Deputy Chief Garza if Dallas Police participated in seizing assets from charged but not convicted offenders, and the Deputy Chief answered, yes, at this time we do. And Philip Kingston pointed a finger in his face and he said, stop it. I know it's in compliance with federal and state regulations, but we all know it's wrong. It violates these basic rights that we hold as Americans to a trial before we can seize any assets. And I kind of found this surprising. I wasn't expecting such a dramatic issue, you know. I guess I expected it to be a little bit more boring, but then Mr. Kingston went on to use a startling statistic that the median amount of a seizure is between $400 and $2,000. So it's not like they're seizing from kingpins or anything like that. They're just, you know, run-of-the-mill drug dealers. Then Deputy Garza tried to say, oh, well, we're trying to deprive them of their ill-gotten gains from drug money. Well, again, fact remains that most of these seizures are made without a conviction, so it's wrong, but it is legal at this time. So attending these council meetings was actually one of the best assignments that I've ever done in a government class, or just in general. Since this last election, it has occurred to me that changes need to be made in our government more than ever. You know, starting at the ground level. I mean, grassroots is really where real change begins, and sitting in a couple of these council meetings was very eye-opening for me. I'll definitely be attending more, and I actually voted at the local level for the first time this week during early voting, so yay me.